Welcome to Tip TV Health. It gives me great pleasure to introduce Dr Charlie from Harley, a man who's got more letters after his name than in his name. Today's specialised subject, mental health. Welcome, Dr Charlie.
Thank you.
Right, a few sort of headlines that I was sort of pondering over lunchtime. One flew over the cuckoo's nest, mad as a hatter, barking mad, Looney Tunes, Moose, you're crazy, you're as mad as a box of frogs.
Right, absolutely. Well, I think all of that highlights a key issue, which is stigma around mental health and people taking the mickey out of mental health. The word loony comes from the lunar cycle. People thought that during the moon phases, people's mood changed, and that's where the word comes from.
So it's down to the stars? And
that was one of the beliefs. That was one of the beliefs. But the priority we as a society have to do is destigmatise mental health, because a lot of people are suffering, and it's estimated that at least 1 in 4 people in the workplace at some point will have a mental health disorder.
So is that down to the work?
Not necessarily. Some of it can be caused by work stress, and I've seen a lot of those, and there are certain professions in which it's more likely. I'd say probably teachers, lawyers and people like that.
Bus driver?
It depends on your locus of control. If you feel you can control your destiny and you're being adequately rewarded, then you're less likely to suffer from stress. But if you just feel you're being imposed on and there's no way of escaping, you're like a rat in a cage, and it's more likely that you'll be more stressed.
So is that down to pay packet then?
You know, what we now know is there's a limit beyond which more money doesn't make you any more happy, and I think there's quite a lot of research on that. So I understand the limit to be about £70,000 a year.
17 or 70?
70. Okay. So beyond 70, you're not actually getting happier. Obviously, if you get 70,000 a year, you're happier than if you had 40,000. But money isn't the key. It's quality of life, it's relationships, it's interactions, and it's how you feel about your working life if you're working, because work can be a significant number of hours of your total life, and if you're unhappy in it, it's not a good thing.
Let's talk about depression. What is it?
Okay,
how do I stop getting depression?
Okay, well, that's the very good starting point, because some people are born with it. It's part of their genetic makeup, and other people acquire it. Now, if your body was designed to go through depressive phases, it seems that there's an alteration in the chemistry that comes on you. And our most famous depressive in English history, I'd say, is Winston Churchill. And Winston Churchill suffered severe depression.
Was that his excuse to drink champagne for breakfast and stuff like that?
I won't go into that one. But there's a very good joke about Churchill and the pigs. Do you know that one?
No.
Well, apparently he used to go and talk to pigs when he was depressed. And his Batman said, why'd you talk to pigs? And he said, I don't talk to dogs because dogs look down on you. I don't talk to cats because cats look up at you. And pigs just treat you as one of your own. But on a serious level. So there you've got a world statesman who suffers a condition which is incredibly common, and it goes in cycles. So if this is this is a normal mood, shall we say, depression is like a big dip. You feel sometimes worthless, you feel inadequate, you have negative thoughts, it affects your sleep pattern, you either can't get off to sleep when you want to sleep, or you wake up early in the morning with recurrent thoughts going round and round in your head, and usually very negative thoughts that in some cases can lead to suicide or attempted suicide.
So how do I avoid that dreadful cycle?
Okay, first thing is to realise if you have depressive tendencies, and that can be diagnosed by any medical or psychological.
So I can literally go to the doctor and say, I think I'm
Yeah, you could explain your symptoms, and you know we now talk about Dr Google, don't we? And Dr Google won't always get it right, but on a serious level, there are questionnaires that if you answer them honestly, you'll get an idea where your index is as to whether you're likely to be a depressive person. Now, we mentioned the endogenous, which is the inbuilt depression, which, by the way, is a chronic disease like diabetes. So once you realise you've got that, you've just got to be aware that it will tend to recur over many years. It's not just that you have one hit and that's it. So that's the first part of the realization. The second type of depression is what we call reactive. So if you lose someone who's very important to you, very close to you, or even a pet that's very close to you, naturally you'll be depressed. That's a human reaction. But if it lasts longer than a prescribed time in that society, then we think it's a problem. And I say in that society.
But if I split up with a girlfriend, okay, there's nothing I can do about that. My heart is broken. The only thing that's going to fix that is time, isn't it?
Yes, and I think what you've just said is something very important. The mentality of there's nothing I can do about that. Worry about the things that you can fix.
Right.
Don't worry about the things that you can't fix. But that robust mindset is what a lot of people don't have, and they get into this spiral of depressive illness. Even Queen Victoria, of course, suffered. I mean, when Albert died, naturally she was upset, but you know, to wear black the next 30 or more years, most of us would regard as a pathological reaction in terms of depression.
Okay, well, let's take a very quick break, and then we'll come back and talk some other subjects straight back after the break. Thank you.